Tyquest Terry could take it to the house, and he will. Blacksburg on 3rd and 22 scores. We'll have to set the offense for Blacksburg and the defense as well, as this game is about ready to get underway. Blacksburg's kickoff team is huddling briefly at about the 40-yard line.
It's actually the kick return. It's actually the kick return. We won the toss, and we elected to receive the ball first here, and we'll get to see our offense right off the bat.
I said the kickoff unit. I wasn't specific. Kickoff return unit, but
well, I just wanted to make sure everybody was clarified.
Brad's on top of it like always. Like always. So Blacksburg will do things a little bit differently tonight on their kickoff reception coverage team. Usually they send Colton Beck and Tyquest Terry back deep, but the Bruins will have 5 players standing at the 25, and they will have 6 up front, standing at about the 50. And it is number 3, Will Strain. He takes a PAT type of approach. Well, this is a deeper drop than we've seen him do on the tape. This is about a 5-step drop. And here's his kickoff. It's a high end-over-end kick. It bounces, and it's going to be picked up at about the 8-yard line. And it is returned up to about the 22. It was returned by...
Looked like number 3, Kareem Muhammad, on the return.
It was Kareem Muhammad. So Blacksburg will put it in play from the 22-yard line. Their first play from scrimmage on a cold but calm wind night, and that is important for Blacksburg and its passing offense. The Bruins are in their single file formation as they get the play call. Now they break out of it. Ramsey and Coffey to the near side. Babcock and Terry to the far side. Colton Beck, as usual, to the right of Grant Johnston. The center, Matt Elliott, looks both ways. Snap comes back. Pass out into the flat to Terry, who stumbles a little bit, goes down on one knee. He will pick up maybe 1 yard. He was covered well. Probably wouldn't have got much more than that, but he did slip and fall, and that limited the amount of yardage that was gained on that play.
Yeah, just he tried to make a quick move right there, and his feet sort of slipped out from underneath him. We have had a little bit of rain this week, and sort of a saturating rain, so I'm sure that the field's a little bit slick, but the one thing is it's 36 degrees outside, so it should be close to freezing as well.
Same formation, twins to either side. Beck to the right of Johnston, and there was movement up front by Jefferson Forrest, the left side of their defensive line. They are pointing at Blacksburg. The officials are going to huddle back at about the 15-yard line and talk this one through.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. It looks like it's going to go against the Bruins.
And it is going to be a 5-yard motion penalty on Blacksburg. So that will make it 2nd and 13.
Yeah, I didn't see that. It looked to me like JF jumped, but I guess there was something there that caused that.
Could have been hand movement by the center. Sometimes they call it very tight for that reason. Again, twins to both sides. Beck in the backfield with Johnston, who claps his hands. And he wants to throw it, but he is going to be sacked all the way back inside the 5-yard line. And that is number 35, Keenan Cupid, the fullback, who came barreling through, and Grant Johnston didn't have a chance.
No, he didn't, and the snap came back, and he bobbled the snap just a little bit, and that sort of threw his timing off, so he didn't really have an opportunity there, and that linebacker came in pretty hot.
That will make it 3rd down and 22 yards to go for Blacksburg. It'll be Terry, Babcock, and Ramsey to the near side, Coffey to the far side. Again, Beck back in the backfield with Johnston. Snap back, Johnston flat pass to Terry, catches it at the 10, trying to get a block, cuts it inside, has a little bit of room. He's over the 30, 40, 50. Tyquest Terry could take it to the house, and he will. Blacksburg on 3rd and 22 scores a touchdown.
What a great job there by Tyquest Terry. He was patient. He caught the ball right out there in the flats. He waited for his blockers to get out in front of him. He took it right behind him, and then at the last second, he cut it back to the middle of the field, and then he just turned on the jets, and no one on Jefferson Forest's team was going to catch him.
And if you were watching here at the stadium, and if you see this on tape, you're going to see Thomas Coffey doing some tremendous blocking to spring Tyquest Terry. Wow.
What a great start right there. You know, we was a little bit behind the chains, and things weren't looking very well, but when you have athletes on your side like Tyquest Terry, they can change in a heartbeat.
3-play, 78-yard drive, taking a minute 54 off the clock, guys. Man, what a play.
Blacksburg with its big play capability on display. Camden Wise on to attempt to make it 7-0. A good snap, a good kick, and it is good. So Blacksburg takes the lead 7-0, 10:06 remaining in the first quarter over Jefferson Forest in the first round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs. You're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7.
So have you applied for any jobs yet?
Nah, I'm just gonna sit all day.
So am I.
Don't just sit. Sit profitably. Drive for BT. Make $13.22 per hour.
Blacksburg takes the lead 7-0 on an incredible play by Tyquest Terry, going practically the entire length of the field. Here is a kickoff by Camden Wise that's going to be fielded. It was a low kick, and it's his Cupid that's going to return it up to about the 23-yard line.
Looked like Donald Norris in on the tackle there for the Bruins.
And now we get to see this unique offense, the wishbone offense. If you used to watch some of those great Texas teams, those great Oklahoma teams in the 70s and 80s that used to score points in bunches, that's the offense they ran. Most teams don't run this particular offense. The only other one I know of, Brad, that runs it is Gretna. I think they still run the wishbone, but Coach Christmas has run this offense for years at Jefferson Forest, and they run it quite well. The quarterback is under center, double tight ends. Snap, and here is a handoff up the middle, and Blacksburg's defense is right there to stop it. It looked like it was Gideon Driscoll in on the tackle.
As well as Tim Sawyer's number 9. That's exactly what we got to have right there. We got to have penetration from up front because that's going to disrupt everything that they've got.
And you can bet that about 75% of the plays they're going to run, Brad, based on the tape that I watched, about 3 or 4 games, they run just about 75% of their plays right between the tackles. They just come at you. 2nd and 11, a loss of 1 on the previous play. And here is a pitch back, and the running back is brought down in the backfield. That was on the carry, Caleb Smith, but he went down in the backfield.
Good job right there by Drew Babcock, number 11, coming through off of that edge and getting him for a loss.
So now it is Jefferson Forest that will face 3rd and more than 10. The ball is spotted on the far side hash mark on the 19, and we're going to have time called. It's a timeout, I believe, called by Jefferson Forest. So with that timeout, we'll take timeout as well. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoff Football on Mix 100.7.
never seen a lineman in motion. That's quarterback's got it.
Quarterback, yeah, 7. Fell down to 20.
On 3rd and 14, Jefferson Forrest runs the football with the quarterback, but he is dropped for no gain at all, maybe a slight loss, but then a penalty flag comes out, and we have unsportsmanlike conduct called on Blacksburg.
So was it the 19?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened on that particular play. That's a shame because, you know, you got 4th down right there and you've got them pinned. I don't know exactly what happened there. We sent a little bit of pressure there. Epperly came through the middle, and the quarterback had to elude him, and at that point he just sort of lost his footing. But unfortunately, the penalties are coming back to bite us right here. Gives them a 1st down.
And Jefferson Forest this time will only have 2 in the backfield. They've got a double tight end set stacked to the far side. Snap back, handoff, and the running back is going to be brought down for a gain of maybe about 1. Looked like it was Josh Van Gelder and Drew Babcock in on the tackle.
Actually, I believe that was Cole Epperly in on the tackle along with Drew Babcock. I got to say his name.
That is Epperly.
I got to say his name when I see it.
I have no idea why. 2nd and 8 for Jefferson Forest. From the 39-yard line is what the scoreboard says. It's really between the 38 and the 39. 2 in the backfield this time. Handoff to Will Strain, and he's brought down after a short gain as well of maybe a yard or 2.
Great job right there. Had the pressure coming from up in the middle.
That's going to bring up 3rd and let's call it 7. It's actually a long 6. The ball on the far side hash mark, the nose just shy of the 40-yard line of Jefferson Forest. They have 2 in the backfield this time. Again, they have the stacked receivers close on the left side. Here's a handoff, and Blacksburg's defense is there to stop the run up the middle. And so far, Brad, Blacksburg's defense is holding the middle firm.
Yeah, they're doing really well. You know, the front 5 has done a good job of getting penetration. Then we've been able to also get Epperly on a couple blitzes right there that has helped keep them in check as well. And brings up a big 4th down here for Jefferson Forest.
The punter is Will Strain. He is standing at his 30. And back to receive the kick is Tyquest Terry at Blacksburg's 30. Jefferson Forest had to get another player on the field. Here it is, snap back, a rugby-style kick, and it is off the side of the foot of the punter. It's picked up by Drew Babcock, and he, I believe if he can stay on his feet, no, he falls down at the 20. But one of the strangest punts you'll ever see, a rugby-style kick. It looked like maybe the punter dropped the ball, but right there on top of it was Drew Babcock, and he advances it to the 20.
Well, I think what happened there, Drew was coming from that end position or from the outside backer position. The rugby punter came and was trying to run, and I think he saw the pressure, and he ended up just pretty much missing the ball when he tried to kick it, and it bounced right to Drew Babcock and was able to pick it up. Wasn't able to keep his balance. If he was able to keep his balance, he probably would have scored another touchdown, but it nevertheless gives us great field position at the 21.
Usually you say a kick went off the side of the punter's foot, and it maybe gets at least 10 or 12 yards. That ball never went a yard in the air and a yard forward.
Negative 11-yard punt.
How about that? And here are flags flying everywhere as Blacksburg had 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Flags flying on both sides of the line of scrimmage. This will probably be on Blacksburg.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It looks like it's going to be offsides on Jefferson Forest. The Blacksburg line.
Love it when I'm wrong like that.
Well, absolutely. You know, it's sort of the same way on this last penalty that we had down here on the false start. The Blacksburg line stayed true, and Jefferson Forest come across, but that time Jefferson Forest gets the penalty against them.
3 receivers to the near side, Coffey to the far side, Beck in the backfield with Johnston. He gets the snap, Beck gets the carry, he sprints through, he's got an opening, and he's into the end zone from 17 yards out. The Express is rolling in Blacksburg.
Great job right there, 1 play and a touchdown for the Bruins.
This is the kind of start that Blacksburg absolutely wanted to have. This is not a team, Jefferson Forest, that can play from behind. They're just not geared that way with the way they play, Brad. They're a run-oriented team. If you get up early on them big, you've got them right where you want them.
Absolutely, and so far so good for the Bruins. Obviously, it's a long game ahead, 6:37 to go here in the first quarter, but looking good so far.
Snap back from Ramsey, hold, Sheeler, kick, Wise, and that kick is good. Blacksburg extends the lead to 14-0, 6:37 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
By the Beck Express, 14-0 Blacksburg, 6:37 left in the quarter.
Here's the kicked off by Camden Wise, taken by Cubitt at the 3-yard line. Has a little bit of an opening, but he'll be brought down right about the 30 along the Blacksburg sideline. And there's a little bit of extracurricular activity. And let's see if the flag comes out. One official looked like he reached for his pocket, but it did not come out.
Yeah, not exactly sure what happened there. Looked like Epperly as well as I think it was Sheeler in on the tackle.
It may have been fumbled. The official is signaling that Jefferson Forest maintained possession. We could not tell from our vantage point if it was fumbled or not. At any rate, it is 1st and 10, Jefferson Forest from the 29. Ball spotted on the near side hash mark, 14-0. Blacksburg leading, 6:30 remaining in the first quarter on the strength of an 88-yard Tyquest Terry catch and run from Grant Johnston and a 17-yard Colton Beck touchdown scamper. 2 in the backfield this time for JF. Unbalanced to the left side, handoff, and Blacksburg's defense is there to thwart the run attempt for no gain at all.
Looked like Chase, I believe that was Gideon Driscoll.
Assisted
as
by
well.
Chase, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Chase. Also, Davis Roberson, 77, in on the tackle as well. That front line right there was just getting some penetration, not a lot of room for him to go. You know, we said it before, like with a single wing, same thing with a wishbone. If you can get penetration, it throws everything off for him.
And Blacksburg, by and large, staying in their 4-2-5 base, but they're bringing the spur and the bandit, which they call the bear and the wolf, up tight. Here is a handoff. No, it is the quarterback with the football. He wanted to throw it, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of about 2.
Good job right there. Looked like Donald Norris in on the tackle there for the Bruins.
And right now, this Blacksburg defense has Jefferson Forest's offense completely confused and befuddled.
Well, and you know, the thing that the Bruins were concerned with was the offense of Jefferson Forest. But, you know, everybody's talked about how good of an offense Jefferson Forest has. But, you know, we've got a pretty good defense as well.
I don't know if Jefferson Forest has faced a defense that has as much lateral quickness as what Blacksburg does. 3rd and 12 from the 27. Here is a handoff on a sweep. Running back has some room, but a nice tackle made by Tyquest Terry to stop what looked like it could have been a first down gain. A great play by Terry along the Jefferson Forest sideline.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle there by Tyquest Terry. Basically, all he did is what you're supposed to do. He stayed at home. They tried to fake it to the right. They had two lead backs going to the right and then basically just come on a little counter back to the left. Tyquest is right there to take care of business.
Well, let's see if Jefferson Forest tries another rugby-style punt or whether this is a traditional attempt. They put a player in motion. Here is Strain. He gets that punt off quickly, and it is a high kick that is bobbled by Tyquest Terry at about the 35, but he falls back on it, and that's where Blacksburg will take over.
Lucky there, fortunate for the Bruins that Tyquest was able to fall on that one. There was Cavaliers right on top of him, but good job there by Tyquest, heads up to hop on it.
So Blacksburg will put Thomas Coffey to the near side, Babcock, Ramsey, and Terry to the far side. Blacksburg's looking to the side to get the play call. Beck in the backfield with Johnston. Now the Bruins have the play call. Johnston claps his hands, snap back. Wants to throw it out to Tyquest Terry. He does, and Terry drops the ball. That looked like it was cold hand syndrome right there, Brad.
Yeah, definitely. Just wasn't able to pull it in. But I tell you, one thing we've got to do right there is even if we drop that, we've got to make sure we get on that ball because it easily could be a lateral pass. And if that's the case, Jefferson Forest could take it back for a touchdown. So we've got to be just fundamental football right there. We've got to be smarter.
Looks like the same formation. It is Babcock, Ramsey, and Terry. Far side to near side. On the Jefferson Forest side of the field, Coffey on the near side. Here's Colton Beck. He gets the ball over the 35, over the 40, stutter stepping, and he's going to get over the 45 up to about the 46 for a gain of 11 and a Fisher Law Firm first down.
Yeah, it's going to move the chains. That's good footwork right there by Colton Beck. Just sort of picking his path and able to pick up enough for the first down.
That's what has impressed me a lot about how he has matured as a runner this year, Brad, is the patience he shows letting blocks develop like that. Same formation. Johnston gets it to Coffey over midfield, strips one tackle, and then he goes down at about the 44-yard line of Jefferson Forest. And there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field. It looks like an ineligible receiver downfield is going to be the call against Blacksburg.
I believe Thomas Coffey is down there. It looked like he got wrapped up a little bit crazy on that particular reception. Sort of got bent over backwards. He's right here on the Blacksburg sideline.
So there will be the mark-off of 5 yards for Blacksburg. And Coffey is still down on the field right about between the 40 and the 45 of Blacksburg along the Bruins sideline, maybe a yard or so inside of the sideline. And we're going to have to see if the officials are going to let play continue with Coffey at that location. I don't know that they will. Now he's up, and it looks like it is a knee injury. You recall that he missed 6 games this year with a knee injury, and he is gingerly walking with assistance to the sideline, and now he's telling folks, leave me alone, I'm going to walk it off. Well, that would be a big loss for Blacksburg if he could not continue, but obviously in some pain as he goes to the bench, and the trainer Daniel Clark will take a look at young Mr. Coffey. And in for Mr. Coffey is...
Oh, it is Cole Epperly, number 18.
There we go. Closest to us, again, it is Babcock, Ramsey, and Terry to the far side. Johnston has Beck to his right. Gets it to Terry on a quick pass, and Tyquest Terry took his eyes off the ball, started to go upfield before he hauled the ball in, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, that was a good throw right there by Grant. Just right in and out of the hands of Tyquest Terry on that particular play.
And you can see a little bit of the body language of Tyquest Terry. A little bit frustrated right now that he's let a couple bounce off of his hands. 2nd and 15 from the 41 of Blacksburg. They lead 14-0. Grant Johnston straight drop, eludes one rusher, throws a deep pass, has a man open, and it is caught at about the 15-yard line. No, he dropped the ball.
It was close. He had it in his hands, and when he came down, it looked like it was intended for Noah Ramsey, number 4. Great strike there by Grant Johnston, but it looked like Noah had it in his hands, and when he came down and hit the turf, that's when it bounced out.
So that'll make it 3rd and 15 from the 41. The clock stops. 3:31 remaining in the first quarter. Blacksburg leading Jefferson Forest 14-0 in the first round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs from Bill Brown Stadium in Blacksburg.
Yeah, big third down right here. We've had our way so far, the first 2 possessions on offense, but this one we've stumbled a little bit.
It was 3rd and long when Blacksburg connected on the previous play, and Blacksburg's going to call a timeout with 3:31 left in the first quarter. We'll take timeout as well. You're listening to Bruins Playoff Football on Mix 100.7. Third and 15 from the 41 for Blacksburg. On the near side hash mark, snap back, straight drop. Grant Johnston under pressure, escapes the pressure, rolling, throwing, has a man open, Tyquest Terry, and again it's off his hands as he was going across the Jefferson Forest sideline, and Blacksburg will be forced into punting mode. Well, Brad, opportunities missed on that particular drive.
Yeah, we had some open receivers right there. Good job by Grant Johnston, sort of buying a little bit of time. At one point I thought he was going to try to run for it, but he saw Tyquest going down the field open and threw a strike over there, but Tyquest just wasn't able to pull it in.
So Camden Wise will be on for his 12th punt of the year. With his 11 punts thus far, he's averaging 39.3 yards per kick. Very respectable for a high school punter. Here's the snap back, and Wise gets it away, a nice high spiral, and it's going to go over the head of one of the Jefferson Forest returners. It bounces back towards Blacksburg's side of the field, but it will be down at about looks like the 14-yard line.
Yeah, you know, at one point I thought that he was going to run backwards and try to catch that, and then at the last second he thought differently and just let it bounce, but good job there. Great punt by Camden, and good job on the punt coverage there, down by Josh Van Gilder.
A 45-yard punt for Camden Wise. And Jefferson Forest will begin their third possession at the 14-yard line. This time they put 2 wide receivers split wide to the near side of the field, 2 in the backfield. The quarterback under center is Caleb Smith. Here's a handoff, and, well, Smith looks like he tried to keep it, and he's going to pick up maybe 3.
Great job right there by that line, but number 18, Cole Epperly, coming in on the tackle from that backside backer position. And that's where the speed of that defense works right there. If you can sort of tie up those linemen and give your backers a chance to move, that's where we are our best.
And Gideon Driscoll exhorting his teammates behind him. He had a little bout of food poisoning this week, got some IVs, but he's back out on the field tonight. 2nd and 7 for Jefferson Forest. Now they're in the traditional wishbone formation. Handoff to the up back, and he's going to be brought down at about the 22, maybe the 23.
Looks like number 7, Josh Van Gilder, in on the tackle there. brings up a 3rd and short for the Cavaliers.
3rd, and it looks like maybe a long one or a short 2 from where the ball's located on the field. Spotted at the 22. The line to make is just a little bit beyond the 24.
Yeah, you know, we gotta get some penetration with that front 5 here. If we can try to get them to change over on downs right here, it'll be a huge stop for this defense.
Traditional wishbone formation, and here is the quarterback. He faked the handoff, wanted to take off and move to his left, and his knee went down on the field, and the play is dead, and Blacksburg has forced a punt.
Great job right there by the Bruins. They had filled that hole, and just was nowhere for him to go, and he tried to make a cut to the left and lost his footing.
So here will be another punt from Will Strain. We're seeing him using the rugby-style kick on his first 2 punts. The first one was a disaster, minus 11 yards. His second one much better. Here is the snap back. The rugby-style kick is off the side of his foot, and it's kicked right about on a direction back at us, but it's going to be a very, very short punt again off the side of the foot. And special teams right now, Brad, are costing Jefferson Forest dearly in this game.
Well, and you know, this is what you want. I mean, for the Bruins, you got to take advantage of it right here.
How many yards was that punt, Brady?
6-yard punt. That brings his total to, hold on, I'll tell you in 1 second.
Negative.
9 yards.
Averaging 9 yards on 3 punts. Have we ever seen that in all the years we've been doing this, Brad?
No, I don't know that I have seen this.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Here's the handoff to Beck. Tries to go up the B gap on the right side. Plenty of white jerseys are waiting for him, and he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, not a lot of room there to wiggle through for Colton. Brings up a 2nd and 10 here. 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Blacksburg up 14-0.
Babcock split out wide between the numbers and the hash on the far side. Terry on the hash. Logan Hudson in as an H-back. Noah Ramsey, the receiver, to the near side. Here's Johnston, wants to throw, being pressured, trying to elude the pressure, gets the pass off, manages. Well, it looked like he had a completion, but another drop for Blacksburg tonight. This time it was Drew Babcock, and Blacksburg has the dropsies tonight.
Yeah, they do. You know, I mean, you don't want to play into the game that it's too cold, because both teams have got to play with the cold. And, you know, quite honestly, I think sometimes it's just mind over matter. And you've just got to forget about the weather. You got to forget about the coldness, and you got to focus on what the task at hand is. And a little bit here in this first half, I think that we've been focusing a little bit on the cold weather conditions.
3rd and 10 from the 23. Again, Babcock and Terry to the far side. H-back Hudson. Ramsey is the receiver to the near side. Johnston wanted to go to one of his receivers. He's going to run it, and he's going to try to pick up the first down with his feet. He's going to go out of bounds about 3 or 4 yards short.
First down by 56.
Yeah, actually, I think they're going to move him back a little bit further than that, to be honest with you, Mark. I think it's going to be about a 4th and 6 here.
19-yard.
And Blacksburg is not putting Camden Wise on the football field. They're going to go for it. 4th and 6 from the 19. Same formation as the last time. All on the far side hash mark. Johnston now will stop, pause, look to the sideline to get the play call. He's got it. Waits for the snap back. Has it. Hand off to Colton Beck. Wants to go around the left side. Has room. Over the 20. Over the 15. Over the 10. 5. Touchdown Colton Beck from 19 yards out. The Express is rolling again.
Great job right there by Colton Beck, but awesome job by Noah Ramsey. He had a ceiling block right there that allowed Colton Beck to slide into the corner of the end zone. Great play call by the Bruins, and finds a way into the end zone with 8 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
That makes it 20-0 Blacksburg, with Camden Wise on to try another PAT. This would make 46 out of 49 on the year. Snap back, and the kick is up. The kick is Good. Blacksburg does extend the lead to 21-0 with 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter from Bill Brown Stadium in Blacksburg. You're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7.
I'm Bob Lowe. I've been working for BT. I worked 8.5 years and then I left for 4.5, and then I've been back about 9 months. There's something about driving a bus to me that I think just appeals to people, because when I worked for Xerox for 38 years, and I used to tell my buddy, I said, one of these days I'm going to drive the two-town trolley. Then I retired, and a year later I applied for a job here. Been doing it since then. Well, I just love the people here. There's such a diverse group of people, and I've met people from all over the world, all different types of education levels, and from gardeners up to doctors, so. It's a fun job, it's good people to work with, and if you sit around the house and watch TV all day, you can get out here and have some fun instead.
A 4-play, 23-yard drive, taking 57 seconds off the clock, capped off by a 19-yard run by Cole Beck. Blacksburg leads 21-0.
And here is the kickoff. The return is by Keenan Cupid. He dropped the football momentarily, picked it up, and it gets it up to about the 27, maybe the 28.
Looked like Noah Ramsey, number 4, in on the tackle there for the Bruins. Mark, I've got a few score updates here. Giles 7-0 over Fort Chiswell. EC Glass now up 10-7 over William Byrd.
And that's who Blacksburg will get next week, the winner of that one.
Yep, and then Lord Botetourt 21-0 over Tunstall. And Salem now up 14-7 over Charlottesville.
It's win or go home time. And right now, Blacksburg got a first quarter just what the doctor ordered, 21-0 Blacksburg leading at the end of the first quarter. It looks like we've had a timeout called down on the field, or
Believe it's
tell what's going on.
It's the end of the quarter. It's the break between the quarters.
A rather lengthy one.
Yes, it is.
Usually the teams get right back out there and get back at it, but this has been a rather lengthy break for both teams at the quarter post. Blacksburg leading at 21-0. Blacksburg wearing tonight their home uniforms, yellow pants, the blue jerseys with the yellow numerals bounded in white, the blue helmets, and the distinctive Boston Red Sox style letter B. Jefferson Forest with black pants, a red stripe down the side, white jerseys, red numbers, black helmets with the Cavaliers symbol in red. 2 in the backfield this time for JF. And the ball's loose on the field, and it looks like number 59, initially Chase Fouts, may have had it, but I don't think he had it long enough because Blacksburg has the football.
Cole Epperly comes up with the fumble recovery there for the Bruins. It looks like the officials are, first down.
It is Blacksburg's football. It looked like number 59, Chase Fouts, initially fell on it, but guess who was there to yank it away?
Hey, I tell you what, when that ball's on the ground, you just got to fight for it. You never know what's going to happen underneath that pile. And number 18, Cole Epperly, comes up with a big turnover fumble recovery there, gives the Bruins great field position once again on the 30-yard line.
That was like at the Epperly dinner table, reaching for those rolls, just grabbing those things as fast as they possibly can, because I know Dad's going to get them if the kids don't, right?
Well, if you look at me, I've had my fair share of rolls, that's for sure.
Oh, my. Here we go with the Wildcat formation. All of the offensive linemen are standing to the right of the field. The snapper's Matt Elliott. He snaps it back to Tyquest Terry, who takes off. Can he get around the edge? He does. Over the 30, over the 25. Still on his feet. He'll be brought down at about the 22-yard line. Could have been a face mask call, but it wasn't called.
Yeah, definitely could have been a face mask call. I mean, they came right up underneath Tyquest's helmet and had a hold of it right there, but no flag on the play. Looks like Thomas Coffey's coming back off the field. He had went on the field, but he's still favoring that leg quite heavily.
2nd and 2 for Blacksburg. Noah Ramsey to the near side of the field. Tyquest Terry to the far side of the field. Hudson is the H-back. Snap back. Johnston fakes it to Cole Beck, and that was a low throw to Noah Ramsey at about the 15-yard line on a quick slant in. and that one was hardly catchable at all.
Yeah, I'm sure Grant would like to have that one back. That's quite honestly, that's the only bad throw he's made all night. He's made great throws tonight. We just haven't came up with the receptions, but that one there was just a little bit low, and Noah wasn't able to come up with that one.
Babcock inside of Terry on the far side. Ramsey to the near side. Handoff. Colton Beck has a blocker in front. Manages to break free and get some yardage, but here comes a penalty flag in the area that you usually will see a holding call. And Blacksburg may be going 10 yards backwards.
Yeah, it's what it looks like it's going to be. I think we're going to normally from that umpire when they throw the flag, that's generally what it is. And
Looked like it's in the vicinity of hold.
Yeah, it looked like the hold.
And that's the signal. It is holding on Blacksburg, as we suspected. The penalty flag is resting at the 22, so that's where the mark-off will come from. That'll make the line of scrimmage, the new line of scrimmage, the 32.
so it's going to bring up 3rd and 12 here for
32.
the Bruins.
Now it should be third.
11:04 to go here in the third quarter.
Blacksburg leading 21-0. The ball right in the middle of the field. There is a slight crown to Bill Brown Stadium. Triplets to the near side. Twins to the far side. Empty backfield. Here's Johnston. Pass. Tyquest Terry catches it, gets a block, and he leaps over one tackler, but he'll be brought down at about the 24-yard line. A gain of 8.
Looks like the the field goal team is coming onto the field.
Camden Wise is 1 for 4 thus far in 2017. This spot will be at about the 32 on the near side hash mark, so a 42-yard attempt coming for Camden Wise out of the hold of Chaz Sheeler. Sheeler sets up, calls for the ball. Here's the spot, here's the kick. It looks like it's got the leg. Is it good? No, it is not. It was wide to the left. So Camden Wise is 1 for 5 in 2017 on field goals, and the score stays 21-0. There was enough distance on that kick.
Yeah, must have just hooked it just a little bit there. That's unfortunate. You come up with a turnover at the 30-yard line and not able to get points off of that. That's definitely unfortunate, and we'll have to clean that up as we move in through the rest of the game and hopefully moving forward through the postseason.
So Jefferson Forest will take over, moving from our right to left. That is towards the concession stand, if you're familiar with Bill Brown Stadium. 2 in the backfield for JF. No split wide receivers. And here is a running back getting a little bit of room, breaking free, and he's going to have a first down up to about the 31. That is the best play from scrimmage so far all night for Jefferson Forest.
Yeah, definitely a good play right there. We had pressure coming from the inside. Looked like Epperly come up through the middle, and he just sort of timed it wrong, ran right past the running back, and the running back's able to go right through the same hole and picks up enough for a 10-yard pickup to move the chains. I believe that was Babcock in on the tackle there.
Traditional wishbone formation this time. And here's a handoff inside to the up back, and plenty of bodies around the football. Can't tell who was the carrier or the tackler, but no gain on the play. It was Josh Harris, the ball carrier.
Yeah, it looked like Van Gilder was first in on the contact right there from the backer position, and I think he might have had a little bit of help from Tyquest Terry.
2nd and 9:30 remaining in the second quarter. Blacksburg leading 21-0 here in the first round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs at Bill Brown Stadium, the first home playoff game for Blacksburg since 2003. Here is a pitch back. Blacksburg has tacklers waiting for the runner, and bringing him down is Chase Orndorff after a gain of about 1.
Great job there by Chase Orndorff over at that end position. Coming up strong right there for the Bruins, and allows minimal pickup. Brings up a 3rd and long for Jefferson Forest. Looks like 3rd and 7 from the 34 mark.
You got a little bit of a better spot than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was back a little bit further, but I guess when he slung him down, maybe his forward progress had got him up a little bit further.
2 in the backfield this time. Strong line to the far side. Here's the give to the up back, and there to bring him down are a host of blue jerseys forcing 4th down.
Yeah, great job right there by the Bruins defense. Looks like Tyquest Terry along with Cole Epperly in on the tackle there brings up a 4th down for the Cavaliers. You know, it'll be decision time. They haven't had a lot of luck from the punting, so they very well might go for this on 4th down.
Well, now it looks like they are going to bring the punter on, so here comes Will Strain. He has 9 net positive yards on 3 punts.
The one thing we got to be smart about, number 7, their quarterback is sort of the up person there, so the fake is possible here. We have to be a smart defensive team here by the Bruins.
Man in motion to the far side, snap back, Strain gets the kick off. It is another short kick, and this one is going to just roll dead at about the 36-yard line.
You know, we've talked about it quite a bit, Mark, but the kicking game is such a weapon. You know, I know Camden would love to have that field goal back, but the kicks that Camden has kicked off this year that sent it into the end zone, you know, to where they have basically the start at the 20-yard line, then as well, you know, the punts. I mean, it's a huge difference.
A 26-yard punt, and at the end of that play, Grant Johnston comes off the field holding. Well, no, it's not Grant Johnston. That is
it's Drew Babcock.
Drew Babcock that is holding his stomach, may have got hit in the gut. Here is a jet sweep to Tyquest Terry, has blockers out in front, over the 40, over the 45, and up to about the 47-yard line.
Great hard run right there by Tyquest Terry. You know, we talked a little bit earlier, Tyquest had a little bit of, you know, sort of hard hands there, not able to pull the ball in with some catches. So, very smart by this offensive staff, getting him involved by just getting the handoffs and those types of things. You start building that confidence back up, and then the next time you're going to come back with a pass reception, and he's going to break it for you.
That is a Fisher Law Firm first down on an 11-yard carry by Tyquest Terry. Logan Hudson in as the H-back, twins to the far side, single receiver to the near side. Handoff Beck, sweeping around the left side, now going outside, trying to get around midfield. He does, over the 45, and he'll skip out of bounds at about the 40-yard line of Jefferson Forest, a gain of 13.
I tell you what, that was a great job by the receivers out there making some key blocks for the Bruins.
And again, Brad, such patient running by Colton Beck, and now it looks like we're going to have a holding penalty called on the far side of the field. I did not see the flag even fall out.
I didn't either. I did not see that.
That is the second holding call on Blacksburg. The penalty flag back at the 47, it looks like.
So play doesn't count.
That's going to move us back. That's going to bring up first and about 20.
Looks like maybe about 21 from where they've spotted the football, which is all the way back at the Blacksburg 37. Twins to the far side, single receiver Ramsey to the near side, and H-back. Here's the handoff to Beck. Wanted to go over the B gap on the left side, and there's a scrum, and there will be very little gain there for number 32.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there for Colton. Brings up second and long once again. Looks like did not get any on that particular play. Maybe 1 yard, so brings up second and 19 for the Bruins.
6:50 remaining in the first half. Blacksburg leading 21-0 over Jefferson Forest. Twins to the far side. The ball on the far side hash mark. Ramsey is the lone receiver to the near side. Play action. Grant Johnston loses his footing, stumbling. Managed to stay on his feet. Has a receiver wide open. It's Tyquest Terry over the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25, and brought down at about the 18. And here comes a penalty flag. That may be a horse collar.
Horse collar, yeah, definitely a horse collar right there. But what a heads-up play by Grant Johnson, finding a way to keep his feet.
Great balance.
And then Tyquest Terry doing his job to find the open spaces and is able to pick up a big-time play right there for the Bruins.
And it is a horse collar tackle call on Jefferson Forest. So Blacksburg already leading 21-0. Is going to have the football inside the 10-yard line that will be spotted at the 9. First and goal, Blacksburg from that point. And a Fisher Law Firm first down for the Bruins. I think number 32 might get the football here, Brad. Let's see. Twins to the near side. Single receiver far side. Hudson is the H-back. Johnston looks over his right shoulder, gets the play call. It does not go to Beck, although it looks like Grant Johnston thought maybe it should have. He's rolling to his right, throws in the back of the end zone in the corner, and he one-hops it back to Tyquest Terry.
Looks like there's a penalty flag down on the far side that was completely away from the play, so I don't know exactly what the call is. It's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield against the Bruins, so that's going to back us up.
That's the second one tonight for Blacksburg. A lot of times you see that happening, Brad, on some of those scramble plays like that. It looked like that may have been a busted play. Maybe Grant Johnston thought Colton Beck was going to be somewhere to get the football. He wasn't there, so Grant improvised, and a lot of times when that happens, you get ineligibles downfield.
Yeah, it's a 5-yard penalty, so it's going to bring up first and
goal from the 14.
14, yeah.
Blacksburg's players look to the side. It'll be Tyquest Terry inside of Drew Babcock. On the near side, far side, are a pair of receivers, including Noah Ramsey, Beck in the backfield. Snap back, give to Beck. Has a little bit of room and somersaults his way down to near the original line of scrimmage at the 9.
Yeah, it's a good job by the line, opening up a little bit of a seam there for Colton, and he was able to pick up 5 yards on the carry.
Second and goal from the 9. The ball's just inside the 10-yard line on the far side hash mark. Babcock and Terry are the receivers to the near side. Far side is Ramsey, tight to the line of scrimmage. H-back Hudson. Here's a pass out of the backfield to Colton Beck. Moving towards the goal line, but tripped up on a nice open field tackle, and Colton will go down near the 5. Looked like it was one of the team captains, Nick Rainey, that made the tackle that saved a touchdown for Jefferson Forest. 3rd and 6, with 6 being the goal line for Blacksburg.
Well, this is a big down right here for the Bruins. I mean, you know, we've been down in here close for a couple times and haven't been able to pick up any points, so we've got to find a way here to pick up some extra points here.
Twins to the far side, single receiver near side. Now here's the snapback. It goes past Grant Johnston, who picks it up on the hop. He's running to his right, throws it into the end zone, and it was almost caught by, who was that? It was Logan Hudson, who almost had it. So here comes Camden Wise to attempt his second field goal of the night.
It's a good job by Grant Johnson. That's just pure athletic ability there, coming back on the backside and sort of rolling out to get rid of the ball.
The spot will be on the near side hash mark at the 13. This will be a 23-yard field goal, and you just really want to see this one go through for Camden. At 1 out of 5, that's not the kind of stat he wanted for his senior season as a field goal kicker for the Bruins. Snap back, low, bobbled. There's the kick. It's up, and that one is good. So Camden Wise is now 2 of 6 on the season, and Blacksburg stretches its lead to 24-0, 4:48 remaining in the second quarter. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
2. Ran out by number 4.
Thank you, Andrew. The kickoff is caught at the 2. It's returned up to about the 31, but there was a penalty flag on the far sideline. The officials will have to sort that one out. This one may be coming back the other way in benefit of the Bruins.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to move them back. I believe that it was a block in the back. You know, the ball's just not flying quite as far in this cold weather. It's got a lot of heavy air, and it's just not flying real well on the kickoffs here. And I tell you, you know, Jefferson Forest has done a good job of getting the returns back up to get favorable field position, and they were up close to the 40 there, but penalty is going to drive them back all the way to the 16.
The ball spotted on the far side hash mark between the 15 and the 16. Traditional wishbone formation, 3 in the backfield, and here is the quarterback being tackled. And I don't know if he had the football. He did hand it off, so it's going to be no gain on the play, maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, I tell you, they do a good job of that ball fake right there. But, you know, Blacksburg's playing responsibility defense right here. Each person has a responsibility that they have to take care of. And right now, Blacksburg is doing a really good job of that. And so the ball fakes aren't going to mess with you. It's the same thing as like in the defense against the single wing. You got to play your position and your responsibility.
And here's a formation I didn't see in tape. They actually have 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. And here is a handoff to the up back, and he's going to be brought down at about the 12-yard line, and Jefferson Forest is going the wrong direction for them.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's fortunate. It looked like a couple of the Bruins in, and it looked like Epperly as well as Driscoll in on that. And Epperly actually had the ball, but it looks like the officials have caught him down before he was able to recover the ball.
3rd and 14 for the Cavaliers. Ball stays on the far side hash mark. This time they go with the traditional wishbone, 3 in the backfield in a triangle formation. And the quarterback has the football. The ball comes loose, but the officials are going to say the runner was down. And it's going to be 4th down again for Jefferson Forest, we think.
Good job there once again. Number 18, Epperly in to make the initial contact.
So here comes Will Strain again. It's been an adventure when he's been back to punt tonight for Jefferson Forest. The line of scrimmage is the 12. Beck and Tyquest Terry are standing back at about the 40 of Jefferson Forest.
Number 3's at his goal line.
They again put a player in motion. Here is the rugby style kick. This is a pretty good kick. This is going to drive. This one's going to go out of bounds somewhere around midfield. Let's see where the official marks it out. He marks it out at midfield. So that is a 38-yard punt. Respectable that time by Will Strain.
Definitely great punt right there. That's the best one he's had all night. Still gives the Bruins favorable field position here at midfield. You've had 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the third quarter. We have plenty of time to get something going here.
Hey, we got that punt average up to 18.2 on 5.
You're keeping that all squared away, Brady.
38-yard punt. Well, that helps the average a little bit when you had one that was minus 11. You heard that right, a minus 11-yard punt. So Blacksburg gets a touchdown here, Brad, and an extra point. They put 31 on the board in the first half. That's going to be awfully hard for Jefferson Forest to overcome. Triples to the near side pass. Tyquest Terry catches this one at the 45, and he tumbles forward close to the first down marker. I think he may have it. Let's see where the official spots it. His right foot is on the 30-yard line side of the 40, but the ball is marked. Well, they are going to move the chains, so that is a Fisher Law Firm first down.
Yeah, and honestly, by the way the chains look, that wasn't a first down. That's why the officials need to bring the chains out. I'm glad we got the first down, but, it's just not the right way to do things.
Nope, doesn't happen that much anymore. Here's Ramsey with a catch. Eludes the first tackler. He's over the 30, 25-20, and he slips. He might have gone all the way, and he'll be down to about the 16.
Good job there by Noah Ramsey.
Well, Blacksburg may be scoring too fast here, Brad. I don't know. The way this thing's going, maybe Blacksburg could score twice.
Hey, we'll take it.
That we will. Drew Babcock is closest to us. Inside of him is Tyquest Terry. He's signaling to the Blacksburg sideline. Now he's got the play assignment. Here is a pass to Tyquest Terry. Tries to elude the tackler and does. 10-5, touchdown Tyquest Terry. It's Tyquest time in Blacksburg. A 16-yard reception for the junior.
That was definitely broken coverage there by Jefferson Force. No one was lined up over Tyquest, and I don't know how you don't have someone lined up over number 6. Definitely a broken coverage there by the Cavaliers, and Tyquest and Grant Johnson makes them pay for it. Great block, by the way, by Drew Babcock as well.
That was a very good block by Drew Babcock. So Camden Wise on to attempt the extra point. Who knows, Brad? We may get 2 scores out of this. We got 1 already. Here is the extra point attempt by the senior. Headed to JMU. The kick is up, and it is blocked. It is blocked, and when it's blocked in high school, the kick is dead. The ball is dead, I should say. So the score remains Blacksburg 30-0 over Jefferson Forest. 2:08 remaining before halftime. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins playoff football on Mix 100.7.
Notice how he always wants to move in front of me. There's 2 reasons. 1, that's the way we've taught it. 2, I have treats in my pocket.
Rosie Higdon, and I own Heidi Ho Dog Training. I've been teaching since 1985. And my sole job is to teach people how to train their dogs to behave the way they want them to. Greeting people at the door, walking on a leash, staying when they say stay.
So in the house, in the kitchen, or in the living room,
All I do is I show them what they need to do, I help them, and then they have to do the training. So depending on how much work and time they put in, will depend on how I improve their dog.
Down. Okay.
Lacey. Go play. That's okay. Just don't stand for it.
Okay. Now get your leashes. You don't have to you don't have to and I said, ouch, I didn't try to do it before, and she just wanted to shake hands. She's already in the training. And then I just spent a lot of time and just started to get work. And paper is that was a very good stuff.
Blacksburg stretches its lead over Jefferson Forest. The Cavaliers from Forest, Virginia. 2:08 remaining in the first half. Brad, this has gone just about the way Blacksburg would have hoped. Here is the kickoff by Camden Wise. It is dropped, and the ball bounds into the end zone. It will be an automatic dead ball, and it will come out to the 20.
It's a good job there. Good kick by Camden. He got his leg into that one, and the return man, number 6, Josh Harris II, sort of fumbled it into the end zone.
Well, let's see if Jefferson Forest can get something going. They have not. I think the only decent play they've had all night, Brad, was what, an 11-yard gain?
I think so.
Other than that, Blacksburg has contained them just about as well as the Bruins could have hoped.
I don't think that they've attempted a pass yet tonight either.
Traditional wishbone set, handoff to the up-back. That was number 35.
Good job right there. Able to pick up a couple yards. Looked like Tim Sawyer's in on the tackle along with 18, Cole Epperly.
I think you can count, Brad, probably on one hand the number of passes that they have attempted in the last 3-4 games that I saw on tape. They just don't have it in their offensive repertoire.
Yeah, it's just not what they're about. But sometimes they can fool you. They can sort of lull you in there.
Wishbone formation. Here's again the handoff to the big, powerful fullback, and he breaks a couple of tackles and gets it up to the 35. That's a gain of 12. That's their best play of the night.
Yeah, definitely best play of the night right there. You know, he's a big physical kid.
6'2", 215.
Yeah, and he runs like he's about 240.
If I'm not mistaken, is that their second first down tonight, Brady, that they've actually gained by third? Okay, third that they've actually gained through their own devices. Here's another handoff. Ball loose, and let's see who's got it. Blacksburg, I think, has it.
I believe so. It looked like Blacksburg
It is
got
Blacksburg's ball. Blacksburg's football, and the Bruins have a minute 11 seconds left to perhaps stretch the lead that is already 30-0.
Big job right there by Chase Orndorff. I think Chase Orndorff is the one that comes up with the fumble recovery. We talked about it. The Bruins got an opportunity to score twice here before half. We've already scored once. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock another one in.
And 71 seconds is a lot of time for this offense, the way they play. Triplets to the near side. Camden Wise is in between Tyquest Terry, who's closest to the line of scrimmage, and Drew Babcock is closest to the Bruins sideline. Ramsey on the far side, which is the boundary. Beck in the backfield with Johnston. Johnston, straight drop, looks, wants to go to Camden Wise, and he had it for a moment and then dropped it at about the 10.
Yeah, he had a little bit of pressure coming from that safety position right there. And, you know, he went to try to make the play, and about the time he stuck his hands on it, that's when the safety came up and hit him pretty good. Wasn't able to pull that one in.
It will again be Wise, Terry, and Babcock on the side of the field closest to us. Ramsey on the far side. Blacksburg looks to the sideline, has the play call. Beck, as usual, to the right of Johnston. Snap back. The give is to Beck. Over the left side, has some room. He stumbles a little bit. He may have gone the distance, but he does fall forward to about the 28 or 29. And that'll be a Fisher Law Firm first down, I think, but it looks like the official's not giving him a good spot.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be a little bit short.
45 seconds left. Wise and Babcock to the near side. Johnston wants to throw it, going deep. He's got Wise open in the end zone, and this time Wise holds on, and Blacksburg does score a second time.
Great
24 yards out.
Great job there. Grant Johnson just put it right on the money, and Camden Wise was wide open. Again, another broken coverage there in the defensive backfield by the Cavaliers of Jefferson Forest, and there was no one within 10 yards of Camden Wise, and Grant Johnson, just looking like the veteran that he is, just puts it right on the money.
And Chaz Sheeler had to rush back to the Bruins sideline, find the kicking tee that is used on PATs. He finally has it. He's back out on the field, and here is Camden Wise attempting to make it 37-0 Bruins with 34 seconds left. Kick is up, and Camden Wise falls down. I don't think contact was made. I just think he slipped, but that kick is good, and with 34 seconds left before halftime, Blacksburg leads it 37-0. You're listening to Bruins Playoff Football on Mix 100.7.
I drive because the hours are flexible.
I drive because the money is great.
I drive for BT, you can too.
Blacksburg has put 37 points on the scoreboard in the first half. Jefferson Forest has none. 34 seconds remaining. Here's the kickoff by Camden Wise. This one is deep, and it will go over the goal line for the automatic touchback.
Another strong kick right there by Camden Wise.
And in cold weather like this, Brad, you just don't get the bounce of the ball off of the foot. And when you can put it over the goal line in this kind of weather, that's saying something.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, We talked about it before, this cold weather, a little bit of heavy air there. The ball is just not traveling quite as well as it might under better conditions. But Camden finds a way to get it in there into the end zone.
34 seconds left, and what Blacksburg wants to do right now is not allow any sort of a big play. They want to go into the locker room leading 37-0, maybe warm up just a little bit, and not let Jefferson Forest do any damage. Wishbone formation. Handoff is to the lead back. That is Cubitt, and it's going to be up to about the 22-yard line.
Another good job right there by Chase Orndorff off of that end position, coming up with a big tackle for the Bruins.
Actually make it the 23.
Looks like
officials calling time. Chase Orndorff looks like he may have an equipment issue. He's going to have to come off the field. Coming in to take his place is Jacob Lucas.
It looks like they're going to run the clock. You know, Jefferson Forest might run one more play here. It's 12 seconds and counting. But they might be just as fine going in.
They do snap it. They do hand it off. And breaking free is Big Cupid. He breaks a couple of tackles, and he's up over the midfield stripe. Actually, they'll say he's out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. But that will bring the first half to a close, and what a first half it is for Blacksburg. They lead 37-0 over Jefferson Forest. We'll be back with the Carillion Clinic halftime show. Camden Wise with the kickoff for the second half, and that kick is not into the end zone. It looked like the back foot of Cupid was on the goal line, but the official said no, and it is returned up to about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, it looked to me like his foot was on the goal line as well. I agree with you, Mark, but it looks like they allow him to bring it out, and not much of an advantage for him, to be honest.
He got maybe an extra 18 inches versus what a touchback would be, so really no consequence at all. Just underway here in the second half. Blacksburg leading big, 37-0 over the 5-5 Jefferson Forest Cavaliers. Wishbone triangle formation, handoff to the up back, and he'll get maybe about 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, not a lot of room. Actually, I think it's a little bit less than that. I think possibly about 3 right there on that particular carry. Well, the scoreboard says 4.
Well, the ball was just beyond the 20. Now it's just shy of the 25. So we'll call it a long 4, a short 5. 2nd and 6 is what the scoreboard says. We'll run with that. Again, it is the triangle of running backs behind the quarterback under center, gives to the up back, and Chase Orndorff and several blue jerseys are there to stop him for very little gain.
Yeah, good job right there by the Bruins. Coming in hard on that particular play. Looked like Orndorff as well as Tyquest Terry.
That will make it 3rd, I believe about 4 when the scoreboard updates. Now it does. It is 3rd and 4. The ball in the near side hash mark. Breaking the huddle are the Cavaliers. Again, the triangle of backs behind the quarterback. Caleb Smith under center. Looked like early movement, a little bit of a tricky handoff, but Blacksburg is there to defend it well for no gain, and it'll be punting time again for JF.
Good job right there.
Looks like there is a player down.
Looked like Epperly as well as Van Gilder in on the tackle there, but looks like one of the running backs for Jefferson Forest is slow to get up. The athletic trainers are out on the field.
I could not tell the number. It looked like maybe it was Will Strain, but I'm not sure. We are shielded from the number from our vantage point. Well, let's take a brief timeout. You're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7. The injured player for Jefferson Forest is number 6, Josh Harris II. Down on the field for quite a long period of time, but he is able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of assistance going over there. I think he took a pretty good shot on that particular play. Brings up a 4th and 2. Looks like Jefferson Forest is going for it here.
Going for it on their own 29. And it is the quarterback. Ball comes loose on the exchange. Blacksburg has it.
Looks like Donald Norris in on the fumble recovery right there. Blacksburg was sending the pressure. The initial hit looked like it was coming from Van Gilder as well as Epperly, and then there is Donald Norris to come in on the fumble recovery.
So Blacksburg with great field position. They take possession at the 29 of Jefferson Forest. They are already leading 37-0, 9:57 remaining in the third quarter. Babcock and Camden Wise will be the receivers to the far side. Ramsey started to go to that side as well. Now he comes back to the near side in the slot position. Tyquest Terry on the numbers on the near side. Beck in the backfield. He gets the handoff, goes to his left, over the 25, over the 20, and down near the 15. They'll bring him down at the 16, a gain of 13 for Colton.
Yeah, good hard run right there. That was a little bit of a different formation. Tyquest was out on the outside receiver there. Normally, he's in the slot.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've seen some strange plays. Last week, we had the ISO Wildcat play using Tyquest Terry. Saw it again here tonight. Triplets this time to the far side. Terry in the boundary to the near side. Again, Beck gets the handoff, cutting around the left side, has a little bit of room. He skips out of bounds. It'll be a short game this time for the Virginia Tech bound senior.
Well,
spotted at the 12, a gain of 4.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a gain right there. You like to see, I know it's 37-0, but if you can find a way to punch it in right here, you can sort of start seeing that things are just they're basically going to pack it in at that point, I believe.
Start getting starters out of the game too. Triplets to the far side. Again, Terry to the near side. Pass to Beck out of the backfield, heading toward the end zone and into the end zone. A 12-yard touchdown reception from Grant Johnston to Colton Beck, and Blacksburg ups the lead to 43-0.
Well, that was a good little play right there. I mean, it was. Instead of handing the ball off to Colton, they just sort of tossed it right out to the wing area there, and Colton picks it up and lets his feet do the rest for him.
And that is his third touchdown, if I'm correct. Brady, is that correct for Colton Beck? He and I have this little game that we've played really since last year where I just simply look at him and I hold up some fingers. I held up 3 tonight. He held up 4. So he's met my quota. We'll see if he can get one more before the game is over. And Blacksburg tacks on the extra point to stretch the lead to 44-0, 8:19 remaining in the third quarter. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs football on Mix 100.7. Here is the kickoff by Camden Wise. High over end kick. It's going to be caught at the 7 by the returner. He's up over the 20, up over the 25, over the 30 to about the 31.
Looked like Brian Mitchell in. A good open field tackle there by Mitchell. It's a pretty good return right there for Jefferson Forest.
And Jefferson Forest, if you are just tuning in, folks, it has been a miserable offensive night for Jefferson Forest. Their longest gain of the night was a 29-yard run right at the end of the first half. 70 total yards in the first half. Turnovers galore. It has been a nightmare for Coach Bob Christmas, and he's one of the best coaches around, Brad.
Very good coach, very good football team, you know.
Here is
carry, tackled by 11.
A carry by number 4 for Jefferson Forest, Hunter Milner, a 5'8", 160-pound senior, and that will be a negative yardage play.
Yeah, great job right there by number 11, Drew Babcock, coming from that outside backer position, and, I mean, he just sliced him in two right there. Very good play by Babcock.
A loss of, looks like 4. It is a loss of 4, second and 14 from the 28. Jefferson Forest moving from our left to our right. This time they put 2 wide receivers to the near side of the field. One goes in motion. That's Cupid, the fullback. Here is a pitch back, and the running back is brought down on a tackle by Gideon Driscoll. The running back was losing his balance, but Gideon made sure to finish him off, and that is Hunter Milner with very little gain, if any.
Yeah, good job there by Gideon Driscoll. I believe Chase Orndorff was also in a little bit on that tackle. So good job there by the front of this Bruin defense. Brings up 3rd and 14, 6 minutes and 43 seconds counting here in the third quarter.
And the mercy rule is in effect here at Bill Brown Stadium. That clock will continue to run with the differential being more than 35 points. 2 in the backfield this time. The handoff is to number 35, Keenan Cupid, and he'll have a gain maybe up near the original line of scrimmage, so a gain of about 4, maybe 5.
I saw 81 over there.
And 7.
Couldn't tell. Looks like Josh Van Gilder in on the tackle along with Babcock, and I believe Donald Norris as well.
Babcock was the last to get off the ground.
32.
It will be 4th down and 9, and Jefferson Forest will keep the offense on the field. When you're down 44-0, a punt doesn't really do a whole lot of good for you.
You know, we talked early on about how good this offense was for Jefferson Forest. I mean, they put up a lot of points against their opponents this year, but I tell you, this defense has just stifled them. I mean, they have just shut them down.
They were the 9th highest scoring team in all of Class 4, and there is movement galore along the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a procedure call. Jefferson Forest is pointing at Blacksburg, but the Bruins, I don't think, got into the neutral zone.
No, basically what ended up happening, they came up, the inside backer looked like they was going to go on a stunt, sort of jumped up there, and then Forrest got a little bit excited, was going to try to make the move to make the block, and ends up picking up the false start penalty.
Looked like the right guard raised the hat.
Yeah,
in anticipation.
It's going to move them back to, looks like the 28-yard line, going to bring up 4th and 14, but Jefferson Forest still going to go for it here.
Maybe they'll try a pass before this game is over with. We don't know if they can do that or not. We haven't seen an attempt so far tonight. Here is an attempt, and here is a receiver that is open, and here is a nice open field tackle by the Bruins. Drew Babcock was the first to come up, and then finishing off the job was, I believe, Josh Van Gelder.
Yeah, it looked like Josh Van Gelder coming in for the tackle. He just slipped right out of Babcock's hands, but there you go. You see that speed. Van Gelder was over. Mitchell was over. Epperly was over. That's what makes that defense so special. I mean, they just cover so much ground.
36-yard line.
Blacksburg averages 44 points per game, good for number 6 in Class 4. 41 points per game for Jefferson Forest. That was good for number 9, but the real differential is in the defensive side of the ball. Blacksburg yielding 20 points less per game at 16.6 versus the 36 given up by Jefferson Forest. Triplets to the far side, single receiver near side. Pass out to Brian Mitchell. He bobbles the flat pass, and it's incomplete.
Well, the other part of that as well, you know, Mark, that number could be a little bit skewed because if you think about the number of touchdowns that have been scored
in junk time,
you know, a lot of those players getting a little bit of time, JV players and some other players just to develop that depth. They've given up some touchdowns and those types of things, so those numbers could be skewed just a little bit as well.
Again, triplets to the far side of the field. Tyquest Terry is in the boundary. Here is the snap back to Grant Johnston. He drops, wants to throw, has time, has a receiver open over the middle. That is Brian Mitchell, and will he get into the end zone? He will! He drags a tackler into the end zone, and Blacksburg has exceeded the half-century mark with 3:53 remaining in the third quarter.
Has a pretty pitch and catch right there between Johnston and Mitchell, right across the middle. You know, Johnston bobbled Mitchell bobbled the first intended pass to him, but he doesn't bobble that one. He hauls it right in the middle of the field and makes it count. Hits pay dirt and puts the Bruins up 50-0 here with 3:53 to go in the third quarter.
Well, Brian Mitchell Sr. may may be listening tonight, unless the Hokies are having team meetings at this time of night before the game tomorrow. If he is listening, Coach, your young lad looked really good on that particular play.
He sure did.
And here is Camden Wise to try yet another extra point. That kick is up, and that kick is good. Blacksburg extends the lead to 51-0 with 3:53 remaining in the third quarter. Blacksburg firing on all cylinders. You're listening to Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
My name is Frankie Mentor. I've been with BT for approximately 1 year now. Blacksburg Transit is the ideal job for any student because we are very willing to work with everyone's schedule. The pay rate is better than anything else you're going to find in and around campus. The training department is excellent here. You go through very in-depth training. It's a lot of fun. The people here are great. Like I said, the training staff is awesome. Everybody that works here that I know is just awesome. With Blacksburg Transit being such a large part of the infrastructure and for the town and for Virginia Tech, it feels good to be part of something that makes you feel like you're making a difference. I think students who drive a bus during their college career, I feel like will look back on the memories that they experienced during driving a bus and smile on them, you know.
Let's go down to Andrew real quickly on the River Ridge Dermatology sideline microphone.
35 at the 3. And he was tackled by number 1.
Having some technical difficulties hearing Andrew at the moment. We apologize for that. The kickoff is returned up to about the 20-yard line, maybe the 21, and there's another player down for Jefferson Forest.
And it looks like number 35, Keenan Cuppet.
And that is a key to that particular offense. That fullback in a wishbone offense, Brad, is like the lead blocker. That's the battering ram that tries to open up the holes for the tailbacks. And if they lose him, that is a big loss for their offense.
Yeah, it's been tough. You know, I mean, they lost number 6, Josh Harris, who's one of their main tailbacks. And then you see Cuppet down on the field here on the turf, and that's another big loss for that offense.
While he's being tended to, let's take another quick break. You're listening to Bruins Football on Mix 100.7.
Batter up! All in! Batter up!
Young Mr. Cupid down on the field for a good bit of time. He is walking off the field under his own power, but that's the second member of their backfield, Brad, that has gotten, looks like has gotten his bell rung for Jefferson Forest tonight.
I tell you, there's some hard hitting going on out there.
The traditional wishbone look. Give to one of the upbacks, and he's going to be stopped and bottled up at the line of scrimmage, and A little bit of frustration starting to show down on the field. Number 51, Josh French, one of the captains for Jefferson Forest, a really good center.
And number 7.
And that's no surprise with Jake Grove, the former Virginia Tech offensive lineman, coaching the offensive line of Jefferson Forest. This was a highly touted offensive line coming into this game, Brad, but it says a lot about just how good Blacksburg's defense is when an offensive line this good just can't open up anything.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure that they're coached very well. When I watched them on tape, they looked really good. You know, Jake Grove was one of the best in the business.
Here's another handoff to the up back, and that is Hunter Milner. He is dropped for no gain whatsoever.
Looked like Matthew Elliott in on the tackle there. Came in pretty hard and fast and makes the tackle. Gets up a little bit slow, but I think he's okay.
You'll get a kick out of this, Brad. I'm standing down on the field talking to Jake Grove before the game. We were talking for about 3 or 4 minutes. I was wearing my jacket with the flying WV on it. He finally notices it and says, "What is that?" I said, well, there are a few of us around here. Not many, but there's a few.
He was quite a player at Virginia Tech and went on to play for the Raiders as well.
He was a very, very fearsome offensive lineman. Here is a carry by Jefferson Forest on 3rd and 7, a pickup of maybe about 2, perhaps 3.
Looked like Van Gilder in on the tackle there for the Bruins. Going to bring up 4th and short here. 4th and 2 for the Bruins. I mean, for the Cavaliers.
Under 2 minutes now remaining in the third quarter. Blacksburg leading 51-0 here at Bill Brown Stadium. It's been a long, long time since Blacksburg fans have seen a home playoff victory, and they're going to get one tonight.
Yes, they are. They've got a good one.
Traditional wishbone look. Here's a give to one of the tailbacks, and Blacksburg right there to stop it. And Gideon Driscoll getting messed with a little bit out there, holds his hands up and says, hey, not me, not me.
Yeah, it looked like number 18 coming in off the blitz right there. Was able to wrap the legs and bring him down. So it's going to be a turnover on downs for Jefferson Forest. The Bruins are going to take over.
And we're going to see, I believe, Luke Goforth is going to be in at the quarterback. Brian Mitchell's going to be in at running back. Jared Madigan is going to be in at receiver. Who else is in? Kareem Muhammad. So Blacksburg has started the substitutions.
Looks like Ryan Stanilan. I got some scoring updates here. Salem over Charlottesville to current time 56-20. EC Glass over William Byrd in third quarter 31-7. Lord Botetourt over Tunstall 44-0. Stanton River over Cave Spring 49-0.
I did not see Byrd getting swamped like that. That's the one surprise of what you just read off.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it doesn't get any easier for the Bruins moving forward.
2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Mitchell is the running back. Goforth wants to throw it. Does, and it is intercepted, and that may break the shutout. It is intercepted by Jefferson Forest on the first play from scrimmage. And there is a touchdown for Jefferson Forest. Wow. Well, that breaks the shutout. It was Nick Rainey with the interception. He takes it 70 yards for Jefferson Forest, and at least they'll be able to go home and say we got something on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it went fast. That was just Luke got it up in the air just a little bit, and you know, the defender was right there, and it was just green spaces ahead of him.
And from our vantage point, we could almost see it unfolding. It was telegraphed. And that's one that Luke Goforth would love to have back. When that tape is played, that'll be a teaching moment for Luke Goforth.
Absolutely, and you know, Luke's a heck of a quarterback. He's a heck of an athlete, and those things happen.
And here is JF. They will go for 2, not surprisingly. They put 2 receivers to the near side, and here is a handoff. No, it is a fake by the quarterback. He's still struggling. He fumbles the ball. It goes back to Jefferson Forest, and Blacksburg blunts the 2-point attempt.
Great job right there. There was a lot of hits going in on that. It was about 5 of the Bruins hit him, and he bounced off of one. Then he fumbled. Someone else picked it up, and 4 or 5 more hit him. and but they're able to keep him out of the end zone to retain the lead of 51-6 here with 55 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, you just hate to see the shutout broken with a play like that.
Run 7 minutes.
Well, you do, but the defense still has a shutout. So, you just keep working here. Obviously here the kickoff return, the folks got to be ready for an onside kick right here because they very possibly could do that. I mean, they have nothing to lose.
Not at this point. The outcome of this game is no longer in doubt. What is in doubt is the point differential in the game.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been really happy with the Bruins tonight. We've sputtered a little bit on offense at times, but I tell you what, hats off to that defense. I mean, I heard so much about Jefferson Forest's offense coming into this game and the points that they've put up on the board, and their offense has yet to score against this Bruin team.
The defensive assistant coaches, defensive line coach Chris Lucas, defensive coordinator Brandon Compton, linebackers coach Ronnie Aiken, Vaughn Phipps, the inside linebackers, Brett Gresham, the defensive backs coach, also handles the special teams for Blacksburg. They deserve a ton of credit for the way this team has prepared for this game tonight.
They really do, and I got to give a tip of the hat to all of them. But I have a little bit of a special relationship with Coach Phipps. He was my coach in school, and I'm just thankful and glad that he is able to coach my son. And I know that that fire still burns hot in Coach Phipps, and when those guys work together, it's amazing what they can come up with.
Brian Mitchell recovers the short kickoff at the 44. And Brad, we need to do a special shout out. Tomorrow is Veterans Day for every single veteran that has worn the uniform, and we're very proud to have one up here with us right now, Tom Ralston, our backup spotter. How many years in the Navy was it, Tom?
34.
34 years in the United States Navy. Well, for you, Tom, and Tom Bibbins, who's listening tonight down in Dallas, and for every veteran that has worn the uniform, from all of us, thank you very, very much.
From all of us, it was our
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better.
Twins to either side. It is Mitchell who gets the handoff. The ball pops loose, and let's see who's got it. Ball came loose at about the 42. I think Blacksburg did get back on the football, but the second team here struggling a little bit, Brad, to get some traction.
Yeah. Fortunate to get back on the ball there, though.
19 seconds left before the end of the third quarter.
Just got another score update from one of our faithful listeners, Ronnie Turpin. Giles is leading Fort Chiswell 28-7. I'm sure that's an interesting game for Beidelman. He came to Giles from Fort Chiswell, so he's playing against a lot of the players that he grew up with.
And that will bring the third quarter to a close. Blacksburg leads 51-6 over Jefferson Forest in the first round of the Class 4 Group D playoffs. You're listening to Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
My name is Kathy Baker, and I have worked for Blacksburg Transit for a little over 5.5 years. I myself is what might be termed an empty nester. My children have moved out of the house, gone off to college, so it's a great opportunity for me to provide a second income in our household. It gives me something to do during the daytime. BT is fairly flexible in terms of hours, so that it's possible to kind of create your own schedule that will blend in with the other parts of one's life. Yeah, I just think that working at BT is a great job. I work with a great group of people. I really like my job. I like the ability to have the responsibility to take a bus out and be tasked with that responsibility and drive in a safe manner and provide great customer service to our passengers. And it's a lot of fun.
51-6. Blacksburg begins the fourth quarter of play with the lead over Jefferson Forest in the first round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs from Bill Brown Stadium in Blacksburg.
All right, here we go.
The reserves are on the field. Luke Goforth is trying to get the offense set. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, no one in the backfield. Goforth claps his hands, throws it, has a receiver, Mitchell, just barely overthrew him at about the 40.
Yeah, it looked like Mitchell had to stop just a little bit there on that particular pass and just couldn't quite reel it in. He was open, though. He had slid behind the defensive backs and could have possibly went to the house on that particular play because I don't think there was anyone that was going to catch him.
And you may say, well, why in the world is Blacksburg throwing the football when they're up 51-6? Well, this is Blacksburg's offense, and these are the players that toil behind the first stringers, and they need to get an opportunity to execute these plays as well, because you never know when they could be called upon to execute these plays as Blacksburg goes deeper into the playoffs. Here's Goforth airmailing one over the head of Jared Madigan.
Well, I mean, it's what it is. I mean, it's developing depth, and that's what you've got to be able to do. And, when Giles High School was up on someone, they don't go to run an I formation. They run the single wing. When Blacksburg is up on someone, they're still going to run the pass because that's what we do.
Here is the 13th punt of the season for Camden Wise. His 12th that occurred earlier in the game was a good one, 45 yards. Snap back. Jefferson Force coming after it. Camden gets it away, and it is a dandy. It is going to be caught and fumbled, and Blacksburg's going to eventually pick it up. Running with it is Drew Babcock. The officials are going to call it dead at about the 20. And I don't know why they called it dead, but they did.
You can't advance a punt on a botched punt right there. It's spotted right where you recover it. And it looked like that was Drew Babcock picking it up. There was about 5 Bruins right there around, and it sort of squirted through all of them. And there's Drew Babcock, sort of Johnny on the spot once again, and picks up the fumble.
So Blacksburg has it. 1st and 10 from the 20.
10 minutes to go.
And twin receivers are tight to the line of scrimmage on the far side. A single receiver to the near side. H-back, man in motion. Gets the carry, bobbles the ball. The ball is loose. I think Blacksburg got it back.
Yeah, it was Kareem Muhammad coming on the jet sweep right there and just wasn't able to get a handle on the ball. You look at it, a lot of these players have been sitting over here on the sideline. It's cold, windy, and then they go out, and it's hard when you're not quite in the rhythm of the game and those types of things, and just not real crisp right here. But some of it has to do with the cold weather conditions as well, I believe.
Ironically, they were playing Foreigners cold as ice on the stadium loudspeakers in between play. Here's a carry by Brian Mitchell. He's going to be stacked up and get no gain whatsoever on 2nd and 10.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there for Brian Mitchell. The hole closed up very quickly.
It was 2nd and 11, so now it's 3rd and 12 after a loss of 1. Madigan is the receiver to the near side. To the far side is Ryan Staniland and Kareem Muhammad. Mitchell in the backfield with Goforth. Goforth with the snap, rolls to his right, wants to throw, has his receiver, that's Madigan. He misses the first tackle, and he goes forward down near the first down marker. This will depend on the spot.
I believe he's got it. Looks like they're going to be moving the chains here.
So Fisher Law Firm first down for the Bruins.
The other part of this is getting some valuable time here as the lineman because, we're going to need these linemen down the road. You got 51, Levi Linkus. You got 52, Parker White. 71, Shane Mitchum. 78,
Ethan
Krickenberger, as well as 58, which is Mitchell Branscombe. So good work there by the offensive line, and this is going to help this Bruin team moving forward.
1st and I believe goal, depending on where the spot of the ball is. Here's Mitchell breaking through, breaking tackles down to about the 4, maybe the 3.
It's a good job right there, and I was just talking about that offensive line, and they opened up a great hole for Brian Mitchell on that particular play, right behind the snapper, Parker White as well, Shane Mitchum, and was able to have a hole there for Mitchell to run through and picks up good yardage.
Blacksburg's offense looks to the sideline. The play call has not been signaled in yet. Now it is. Stanoland is to the far side of the field. Madigan to the near side. Snap back. Here's Goforth rolling to his left, throws it into the end zone. There are penalty flags down. Blacksburg may have an ineligible receiver downfield.
I believe that might be what the call is. Yeah, ineligible downfield. It was a good-looking pitch and catch there from Goforth to Kareem Muhammad, but unfortunately is going to be called back here due to the ineligible man downfield. And you know, we talked about it before. That happens sometimes when the quarterbacks get to rolling. You know, basically the linemen are trying to block downfield for him, and because they think maybe he's going to run, and then at the last second, if he sees an opening, he passes, and sometimes we get caught with that.
I believe that's the third time tonight Blacksburg's been called for ineligible downfield.
I think so. And that happens sometimes. Probably sometimes coaches, opposing coaches, look at certain things on film and they think that maybe they can get one up on us by talking to the officials before the game. So then they sort of key on those things.
So here's a snap back, and Goforth wanted to hit Brian Mitchell coming out of the backfield, but the ball slipped out of his hand. He went back and dove on it at about the 16. Blacksburg's going the wrong way.
Yeah, fortunate for Luke to fall back on that one. He went to throw, and it just sort of fell right out of his hand.
And Goforth will put his hands inside of the sock that he wears in the front of his uniform, as many quarterbacks do. Twin receivers to the near side, a single receiver to the far side. Snap back, Goforth rolling to his right, still rolling, throwing into the end zone, and throws up a prayer in the general vicinity of Jared Madigan, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, just not a lot of room right there for him to throw to, and looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit in.
Camden Wise is 2 for 6 on the season, 1 for 2 tonight. This spot will be at about the 23. Let's see where it goes down. Camden is going to place it. It is at the 23, so a 33-yard attempt, pretty much straight away, shaded slightly toward the Bruins sideline.
13-10.
Snap back. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So Camden Wise is 2 for 3 tonight, and Blacksburg stretches the lead to 54-6, 4:55 remaining in the game. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7. Chaz Sheeler will be kicking it off for Blacksburg.
4:55 to go here.
Do we have a score update on Glass and Bird? Is it looking pretty much like it's going to be Glass, I think.
So I haven't got a score update on them. I've got Salem over Charlottesville 63-28, Botetourt 51-7 over Tunstall, and Northside in a barn burner with Abington 7-0 in the fourth quarter.
So here is the left-footed Chaz Sheeler to kick it off, and his kickoff will hit and bounce into the end zone for the touchback for the Bruins.
Good job there by Chaz Sheeler, and Blacksburg just keeps putting those kickers out there, and that's what you want. I mean, we've got some sure weapons there. You've got Camden Wise, you've got Chaz Sheeler, you got Dawson Rasick in the 8th grade group, you've got Trey Roberts. I mean, they just keep moving them, and that's what you want to do. And some of it has been soccer players that have converted over to football. And once they get into football, they end up doing more than just kicking.
And it is Sheeler who is playing the role of the free safety. Blacksburg trots on another player. Here is a pass attempt by Jefferson Forrest, and it is knocked down nicely out there by Chaz Sheeler at about the 40-yard line.
Good defense right there by Chaz Sheeler.
4:20 remaining in the game. Blacksburg will be moving on to host a second round Class 4 Region D playoffs game here next Friday night at Bill Brown Stadium against what appears will be EC Glass.
Yeah, we talked about it. It doesn't get any easier. They're coming out of that Lynchburg area, and they always have good talent, good speed, and just play good, hard football.
Here is another run, this time by Jefferson Forrest, and the runner goes all the way down to about the 32-yard line of Blacksburg. That's going to be a gain of 48 yards.
Yeah, it's a big run right there. That's definitely the biggest play of the night on Jefferson Forrest's offensive side.
And with the spot, that's actually looks like it's going to be down to about the 35.
Yeah, it's a good hard run. We do have some. We've made pretty much a wholesale changes out there on the defensive side of the ball, and sometimes it takes a little bit of extra time to sort of get into the rhythm here.
45-yard gain, the biggest play from scrimmage tonight for Jefferson Forrest.
Number 4 on the run.
And here's another handoff to the running back, Hunter Milner. A lot of the starters are still in the game for Jefferson Forrest.
Yeah, looked like on that particular play, number 41, Darius Norris, in on the tackle for the Bruins.
2:42 remaining in the game, 54-6, Blacksburg leading.
You definitely want, as the Bruins defense here, you want to try to keep them out of this end zone. They're up to the 30-yard line.
4 on the run.
And here's another rushing attempt by Hunter Milner for very little yardage.
Good job there. That defensive front looked like Ethan Krickenberger in on the tackle, as well as number 31, Bubby Cole, one of the team favorites there, getting in and showing what he can do. And I tell you, Shane Mitchum came in from that nose position and sort of blew up that interior line, and then the handoff was there, but Krickenberger as well as Cole was there to clean it up.
Noah Ramsey received his first Division I offer yesterday from Bluefield College from Blacksburg. That brings the total to 7 Bruins that now hold scholarship offers. That's close to a record too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this field, and there's a lot of talent in the senior class. There's a lot of talent in the junior class. There's a lot of talent in the sophomore class and freshmen for that matter, and then the 8th grade class is going to be pretty special as well.
1:13 remaining in the game. 4th and 5 for Jefferson Forrest. Handoff to the up back. No, the ball comes loose, and Blacksburg may have recovered it.
I believe so. I believe that's number 52, Parker White, on the fumble recovery. Looked like the initial hit was by Darius Norris, but Parker White heads up on the ball and comes up with the fumble recovery. I think that is the fourth fumble tonight, and we have recovered all of them, I believe.
Opportunistic defense for Blacksburg, both in their first unit and the second unit.
Well, you know, the thing is I mean, we've talked about it. We've just got a bunch of kids that just have great instincts, and they fly to the football. And when it's on the turf, they try to find a way to get there.
Goforth has Brian Mitchell to his right. Check that. It is
31.
Looks like Bubby Cole in the backfield
Cole's
for
in the backfield now.
The Bruins.
He got a touchdown last week against Christiansburg. Snap back, and taking a knee is Goforth. 35 seconds left in the game.
Back at the 20.
Technically, there should be one more play run, but the way this game has gone, that may be it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Looks like we're going to line it up, and the Bruins are going to come away with the first-round playoff win, Mark. 54-6 here at David Chris Field. What a way to start off the playoff season.
Blacksburg wins its 10th game of the season, going to 10-1. They win it convincingly tonight at home, 54-6 over Jefferson Forest. We'll be back with River Ridge Dermatology postgame show when we return. You're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7.